All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so we're going to be playing this time on Lost Temple, as you just said. On the 3 o'clock position, we're going to have WhiteRA again as red Protoss, and as purple Zerg, we have machine spawning at the 12 o'clock. So close air, long ground distance, just like on the last map at Metalopolis.
Yeah, I think that's going to play a big factor into this matchup as well. I don't think that Machine's going to be taking a fast expansion. I think he'll go for the same spawning pool, then hatch build. That would probably be the best choice for him. I would like to see WhiteRA fast expand to really keep up with Machine's macro, though.
Yeah, really, it was the macro that made the huge difference at the end of the last matchup. It was 5 bases against 4, and that ended up being really the game in the end. Just White Rod spent far too much of his economy on these small attacks.
Yeah, it can work for a good period of time, or it can work until you get to your key tech that you need. But if you stick on that too long, it's just not going to be as effective late game when you get on so many bases.
All right, looking at the build order of both players currently, we do have our first gate has just been put up by White Raw. And interesting, we're going to wait and see what Machine does here. He is going to be going for a 14 pool, so he's not doing 14 hatch. However, he is already sending down a single drone. Oh, it's going to be scouting. I thought he was going to send that drone out to be able to just wait for the hatch.
Yeah, I thought so too, but it looks like he is going to scout with it, but I'm not sure why. Maybe he wants to scout for this pylon, or see if there's going to be a forge fast expand or a gateway fast expand, because he does have the Overlord almost over top of the Nexus now, so that drone scout feels kind of
Useless,
wasted.
really.
But
Spawning pool will be finishing momentarily, but again, not much to report yet.
no, and still no hatch, so I'm going to expect... Oh, there's the hatch,
There it
just as I
is.
say it. Um,
Just before the probe got there to block it. Like,
yeah,
just.
barely in time. Still no queen yet. Probably going to come as soon as he gets those minerals that he needs. Queens, of course, are a very important part of Zerg mechanics, to say the least.
Let's see. Oh, he did do a yoink. We do have an extractor from Machine inside the base of White Raw. I totally missed that for a moment. And he didn't cancel it, so we have a full-on extractor just stealing early gas here from White Raw. Cybernetics Core has just finished, and it is researching Warp Gate. Very typical opening here thus far for our Protoss White Raw.
Yeah, and similar to what Zerg does against Terran, this is going to let let Machine know that the Zealot is indeed here attacking the Extractor and not putting on any early pressure. So he is going to feel very safe, and it's going to allow him to drone up and not have to produce any Zerglings above and beyond the initial first two.
Similar to the last match, Machine is moving his queen down to his natural expansion, which has just finished. Hatch has just popped, and the queen is already there.
He's getting a much faster second queen, which I do like. That's going to be crucial for him to spread the creep and to get his bases connected. If there is any void rays coming from the Protoss, the creep spread is a huge part to let those queens move from natural to main and back to defend against the void rays. But that is not what we're going to see. The forge is about halfway done, so we are going to see a fast expansion. The pylon is down in the low ground, and the probe is just waiting for his cue that there's enough minerals to build that nexus.
Pylon just completed. We have a spine crawler being built up at the natural expansion here of Machine, because we do have a small push here, a single Zealot and one Stalker trying to do as much damage as they can, and not doing too badly. They've been able to take out a small number of Zerglings thus far, but it looks like that spine crawler is going to scare them off. They
Once
wanted to get that queen.
Yeah, once again, Machine letting his queen get to dangerously low levels before retreating it, but then quickly swapping it with the queen from the main. Very nice job, just preserving that queen and letting her regen her health.
All right, looking at the build order of both players, we are going to have Metabolic Boost, and +1 for ground weapons is on the way currently for White Raw.
This seems to be one of his key things. He loves getting those upgrades early. I do really like that. I don't think a lot of players these days are not getting enough upgrades, even towards the late game. You see them focusing on 1 or 2 extra units instead of actually getting that upgrade. And those upgrades can be very key, like for instance, Zealots versus Zerglings, where if you have that +1 attack upgrade, it kills them in 2 shots instead of 3. So you kill them pretty much 33% faster. It's something you definitely want to have.
We've got a pair of gates and a single robo facility making a pseudo wall here at the natural expansion of WhiteRA. At the same time, we are going up to Lair Tech currently in the main base here of Machine. Machine is also building up another pair of extractors at his naturals, so mainly focusing on his economy at this point. Not much in the way of offense from either player thus far.
It looks like they're gearing up towards a strong macro game, kind of like on Metalopolis, and if that is the case, we're going to have another very interesting game on our hands. Looking at the income tab, though, we do see that the Machine is about 10 harvesters above 11 now, so his income is going to be reflected by that, and he is already gearing up to take a third base at the gold. That is one of the benefits of these spawn positions. The gold base is very easy to take because it is right beside your choke towards your natural.
We are going up into Spire now here from Machine's base. He's doing a Spire significantly earlier than he did in the last matchup. Last time he went to Roaches and decided to focus on that for a little while. But you saw how those Broodlords worked for him last match. Maybe he's just going to try and get those Broodlords as early as he possibly can this time.
That could be. I'm curious to see how it's going to work against Duckload Raw as he's switching his play up a little bit. He did go for the same 3-gate while he went for expand before the 3 gates, but he got his 3rd gateway and then got his robotics facility, which he's chrono boosting a warp prism out of, and it looks like he's got his same 4 sentries, but is he going to use those with the warp prism somehow? Does he have some kind of new tactic for us to see?
I don't know. This should be interesting.
I'm curious to see what he's going to use this warp prism for. There go the sentries into the warp
Wow.
prism, and it is on the way.
Sentries in a warp prism. Who would have thought?
What is he going to do?
I don't know. He's just moving around with it. Blink is on the way.
He may wait for a blink timing, but why would the sentries be in the warp prism already? I don't know what his thoughts are right now. Unloading them now. Maybe he was going for some kind of block at the minerals. Maybe he would force field the minerals, causing Machine to lose some mining time. I don't know what's going on, but he's got some kind of trick up his sleeve. He's just trying to work out the timing right now, I think.
Massive number of mutas on the map suddenly. We have a nice group of mutas making the way across the airspace. They're going to probably get some free kills here. No, looks like the sentries were able to spot them. Already take out one of those mutas, chasing them off. I'm surprised that they didn't decide to go and try and take out that pylon just for a free pylon kill.
Yeah, you really have to be careful with the mutas at this early in the game. You cannot lose any of them. If you lose them, they become so ineffective in large numbers. You want to keep them as long as possible. So I think it was good for him to pull out there, and these hit-and-run tactics are what he's going to want to do. But it looks like WhiteRA is going to be defended with having cannons up at the front and back of his natural expansion, and he's got stalkers all over the map as well, or all over his base, I should say. He does have a vulnerable point here at this pylon at the left-hand corner of his base. That is going to be taken out pretty quickly as the mutas are just going to retreat.
Easy free kill there for him. Missile attacks, air missile attacks, I should say, level 1 are on the way. First Corruptor is on the way, so maybe he is going to go straight for those Broodlords as early as he can.
Yeah, we've got Warp Prism here. We should keep an eye on that to make sure it doesn't try to pull any fancy play up in the top right-hand corner with 4 Zealots in it, just waiting for the right timing to go and drop in the mineral line. But these mutas are getting in even to higher numbers here, and they're taking out pylons even quicker than before.
Well, here come the War Prisms making his way right behind the main mineral line of Machine, and there is nothing to defend this right now.
He was distracted here with his mutas trying to do some harassment.
Zealots. There's Zealots in there.
Back.
I thought he had loaded that up with those sentries again.
The sentries were in there before, but he dropped them and picked up 4 Zealots later on. But those Zealots get picked off pretty quickly, and that Warp Prism is going down. Say bye-bye.
Will he be able to drop those units? No.
No, he definitely wasn't. And Machine picking up a 4th base here. Meanwhile, WhiteRA's still stuck on 2 with not even the rocks killed off at his gold base. He's in a lot of trouble. He knows this. He's going to take these Stalkers and Sentries and push in and cause some damage with a nice positioning here.
Very nice
He's going to be able to force field off this entryway and stop too many units from getting in. Here come the force fields, and this hatchery is bye-bye. It's
Absolutely
gone.
nothing to defend this at this point, but he is doing what I call the Korea hatch at his natural expansion. 2 hatcheries right next to one another just to get that extra larva count.
Definitely, it's not going to help his income, but it is going to help his production, and a lot of 3-basin Zergs tend not to be able to spend all of their money quickly enough. But a lot of these mutas were taken out there in that last engagement. Oh, sorry, no, they were just off in a different area. Wow, that is a lot of
Yeah, here they
Mutalisks.
come.
But that is just too many Stalkers. I would have liked to see a Guardian Shield being put up to reduce the bounce damage and the AoE damage from these mutas, but they are tearing through these Stalkers. They are upgraded 1-0, but the Stalkers are upgraded 2-0. I would have thought that would have went in more of WhiteRA's favor, but it
Yeah.
definitely didn't.
So many mutas just able to stack up so much damage. They were able to take out a significant number of those stalkers. The only reason there are still stalkers there is because backup came in. But here come a number of roaches from the back to try and clean up what's left of this stalker army. Still a few, just a pair of these mutas still in the air. And look, just hatched at that base. A few more roaches. Just forced into retreat. There's nothing these stalkers can do anymore.
Once again, this is good harassment by WhiteRA, whittling down the economy and whittling down the forces that Machine does have, but once again, he's on 3 bases, almost on his 4th base, and WhiteRA is just now starting to try to take his 3rd base here at the gold. He's going to be in a lot of trouble if he doesn't get a base up and running or cause some kind of big harassment in the next few minutes here.
Carapace level 1 is on the way currently for Machine, or is it level 2? I think it's level 1. But he is macroing up quite an army. This is all being spotted by WhiteRA's observer, though, so he knows this army composition. Oh, wow, look at this. WhiteRA is actually going for a tower. Where is it? Where are
Oh, the
you,
Dark
tower?
Shrine. I was like, tower? Do you mean cannon?
I call it the Dark Tower just
The
as a
Dark
joke.
Tower. Yeah, definitely. Where is that?
No, seriously, where is it? There it is. Up at the north of his
Oh, yeah, yeah.
main. So he will be trying to transfer over into Dark Templar. This could be extremely successful.
It is. There are virtually no overseers on the map right now. Not a single one. There are overlords all around the map providing creep, which can be easily turned into overseers, but it's going to allow them a lot of harassment in the meantime while those overseers are being produced. Here come 4 DTs making their way over to the natural expansion at the 9 o'clock, but at the same time, all of these roaches are engaging, and this is a lot of roaches. The DTs are splitting up, going in all different directions. They're going to take out a lot of drones. If he can hold off this attack here with the roaches, he will be in a very good position. The Immortals are helping out, but there's not enough of them to rip through these roaches that he does have. Just too many of those 24 roaches still left. He does not have burrows, so he cannot regenerate them, but DTs all over the map causing so much damage. Mineral lines being taken out, spore crawlers, or spine crawlers, and wow, that's just so much damage right now.
Just lost the 9 o'clock. There's so many of these drones going down at the main base. Just to this one Templar, up to 11 kills, 12 kills.
At the gold base, that Nexus did just go down. WhiteRA did lose that, so he's now only on 1 mining base. But at the same time, I guess you could say that Machine, income-wise, he is less than WhiteRA right now. 1,200 income to about 800. 66 harvesters to 31. These DTs have caused so much havoc for Machine. This is a complete turn of events. I thought WhiteRA was in a terrible position, but these DTs caught him totally off guard.
Finally, these 2 DTs in the main are going to get spotted and probably taken out. Nice surround by a whole bunch of Zerglings, and yes, there they go. Observer, I'm sorry, not Observer, Overseer saves the day.
But 3 more working their way here on these spine crawlers as the Stalkers come in as well to do some damage. Wow. WhiteRA is completely capitalizing on the fact that Machine has virtually no income right now.
And if he continues this pressure for the rest of the match, it's certainly going to be his. And there you go, right there. Machine
GG from
GGs.
Machine.
So we are
fantastic game.
Tied up at 1-1. Wow, that was a sudden turnaround.
Yeah, that fantastic game. We're going to be going on to game 3. The series tied up 1-1, best of 5.